I actually get this comment a lot. It usually gets intercepted by my comment filter because usually they'll attach a curse word to it. And I just leave it to die in there because it don't really matter. And I hate explaining myself 150 million times. This guy's not a dick or anything. He actually has been active on the channel for quite a long time. But it is something a lot of people wonder about because they're like, why are you showing the trigger brake? Because the trigger brake all comes down to your trigger control. If the trigger brake sucks, it's your fault. And they're partly right. The reason I do the trigger brake and I don't hold the guns to the maximum ability to get the maximum possible trigger brake. I hold them just at the same. I try to do both firearms the same so you can see the difference between the two. Not that how you can, control the trigger brake, but this firearm compared with this firearm, what's the difference? And there's a couple of different reasons why you'd want a good trigger brake. I always want a good trigger brake in my pistol. One, if you extend the range of the targets, if you're shooting farther than 7 yards at something really far or at something really small like an eyeball, you can't do the trigger brake that they always talk about in the tactical videos. Isometric tension. I'm not saying the tactical video trigger brakes are wrong or trigger control is wrong. It works as advertised. It's really good at recoiling or recovering from recoil and keeping the firearm very steady.
And we're shooting faster and more accurately than we ever have before. And a lot of it has less to do with talent and a lot more to do with just the biomechanics. So what we shoot nowadays is something called a thumbs forward grip. And I wanted to demonstrate why it works and how it works.
But unfortunately, there's a lot of situations where you cannot use that hold. If you're in a real compromised shooting position, you will not be able to use that hold. If you're trying to pie out like around your house to see what's going on, you have to use almost like a weaver hold. That hold will work there, but it's difficult because you have to bring both your hands up and they want you to bring it forward, so you're exposing a huge part of your body when you're trying to pie around a corner. Where like a nice relaxed weaver hold, you can just get your eyeball, your arm, and your shoulder, come around and make a shot. Where you'd start noticing trigger brake problems.
Hey folks, Mike here, your daily tip for today. Grip the handgun harder than you think you need to. A lot of people undergrip the handguns. I bet you might be undergripping your handgun. Check this out. Holding the handgun, watch the recoil. Holding the handgun. See the gun move? Gripping the handgun. All I'm gonna do is take both hands and I'm gonna grip down really, really hard.
At really long range, if you were to put a death grip on it like this, you can see your heartbeat in your front sight, making really long range shots impossible. If you're trying to shoot something really small, same thing. But where it really matters is what if this hold is not a possibility? What if for whatever reason you have to hold it one-handed, and with your left hand even, or your right hand? The hold you can apply to the firearm is extremely compromised, so you'll really start to notice a crappy trigger. Here's an example. Unfortunately, this is the only firearm I have with a laser on it to see it. But like, say your tactical hold, I'm aiming up at the target. This target's like maybe 3-4 yards away. You can see my heartbeat in the laser. But I did keep it on target. Same thing, one-handed, left hand. I'm squeezing as hard as I can so you can really see my heartbeat in the laser. Gotta relax just a little bit. But anyways, the trigger brake made it jump up and to the right. I mean, it can jump wherever. If this was in like a 0G environment and you put a servo on here to brake the trigger so it's not being affected by anything except for how the trigger would brake, it would probably either go like this or tumble forward. So in the event you have to shoot one-handed, trigger brake really matters. I really wish I had another laser to put on these better braking firearms. Maybe I can kind of get it so you can see the front sight. My front sight stayed inside this circle the whole time the trigger broke. And that makes a big difference. Doing the same shoot. Now, if I were to do this all tactical style and hold like this, I can almost keep it right on that X. Remember, though, this is at close range. So, say for whatever reason you had to shoot the shield, especially the version 1, one-handed, I would be really hard-pressed to hit a human-sized target any farther than like 10, 15 yards. I would start missing pretty consistently. With this one, I could probably stretch that out to like 25, maybe even 30 yards. I don't know, I haven't really tried it. But it would be probably like twice as easy to make shots like that with the XDE over the shield. It's really up to you, though. Again, the whole, grind your fist and drive the firearm out and bring your hand as far forward as possible does work. Exactly as advertised. But what if you can't do that? What if for whatever reason you have to shoot one-handed? You just never know. Shield trigger break, tactical style. Shield trigger break, tactical style. Shield trigger break, one-handed, off-handed. XDE trigger break, tactical style. XDE trigger break, offhand or one-handed, left hand. RM380 trigger break, tactical style. RM380 trigger break, one-handed, left hand. Spectrum, tactical style. Spectrum, one-handed, left hand. I guess what I'm trying to say and why I'm such a pistol trigger snob is I like to stack the deck. Make the odds most favorable for me as possible. I mean, if it's the bottom of the fourth, the field's loaded, the 2-minute warning just sounded, you don't want to bogey the ball out of bounds. No, you want to score the Hail Mary, get some extra points, and win your championship ring. But that's just my opinion. I mean, yeah, these other firearms that have crappy triggers and break like crap would work just fine. But for me, I don't want that. But thanks for watching. Leave in the comments below what you think about all this information. Don't forget to subscribe.